Hey, what's up everybody, we're now for another action figure review. This time we're taking a look at the Iron Giant Deluxe figure by Mondo. This is enormous. Something I've never done before is a review of a figure of this scale. It's pretty big. So the review station looks a little bit weird, it looks a little bit different. You're gonna see some weird, cuts in the background of, my background. But it's the best I could do right now with what I got, because this thing is so big. It looks really cool. I like the design of the box, what they did here. It's really hefty. So just to, I guess, show you going down, you can see Mondo. You can see the Iron Giant poking his little head out from the trees. That's pretty cool. And I guess if we're going to look at the side of the box, it just keeps going. The back just keeps going. It's a nice, pretty cool looking box. And then there's the Iron Giant again on top. Now, when you open the box, it's actually sealed with a magnet, so it's magnetic. The box itself to the other end, so the lid or the front panel comes off. You got this cool little read up on the inside. Says, an enormous robot has come from deepest space, crashed landed on Earth, and followed 11-year-old Hogarth home. Now Hogarth has one big friend, an even bigger problem. How do you keep a secret that's 50 foot tall or 50 feet tall? And then there's a little silhouette of them too. And then when you take this little foam piece out, you will see the Iron Giant right there. They did a real cool thing here with the way they packaged it. It's all in this foam with some paper there. So you got the Iron Giant there, the actual figure, and then there's some accessories on the back once you take this off. So you take the Iron Giant out, and then there's some more stuff back there. You can see some of the accessories that he comes with. We're going to be diving into that real soon once we get the review going. But I just wanted to show you guys how he is in the box, since this is a little bit different. It's a little more higher end figure. Never done a 16-inch figure like this. The whole packaging is different, so it's pretty cool just showing that off. So alright, let's get into it and see what we got here. And there you have it, guys. That's the 16-inch Iron Giant Deluxe figure by Mondo out of the package, or out of the box. This thing is massive. I can't fit the whole figure in frame, or else it will be out of frame and way out of my area here. I'm gonna give you a moment here just to admire the figure. It looks great in person. I love how he looks. 16 inches is what it says on the box. There you can see down on the bottom. He's not that heavy. As you can see, I can really with no problem, and his legs don't droop down or nothing. So he's not made of die cast, if that's your question. There's no metal pieces on him. He's all plastic, and he seems to be a little bit on the hollow side. And that, I mean, I know that may scare some people, and I know it might, because he is quite the pricey figure. But he is hollow, and it's pretty obvious when you hold him. You can even hold him from the leg, and I mean, it's kind of scary, but look, nothing. I mean, he stays. So I don't want you to be afraid just because of that. I know he's expensive. He's around $299 right now. $300 is the retail price on this figure. And once they're sold out, it's gonna go up. But this is a really good figure nonetheless, even though if it's a little bit on the hollow side. And I'll go through everything it comes with, all the accessories and his features too as well. He's got a couple features too, but overall the detail and the sculpt of him is A+. It looks great. I love it. The paint came out great. I know it's just a dark black and kind of like a grayish blue. And that's it. It's not very dynamic, but still it's a really nicely executed, really nicely done. They did a good job. This thing means a lot to me because it's pretty much my childhood movie. I love that movie so much. I watched it so much to the point where I memorized every single line in the movie. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I used to recite the movie in my head. That's how crazy. Yeah, it's a little insane. But anyways, they never really put out any merchandise, and this is finally the first true figure for a collector that they put out, and it looks great. So let's take a closer look at the figure and see how he looks a little bit up close. Alright, so here you can see all the rivets painted on there and sculpted really nicely. Everything came out really clean, and that's important to me when it comes to paint. Is cleanliness is no bleeding of the paint anywhere, which is good. I mean, we're paying this much, should be perfect. So that's awesome there. Everything, you can see his head. Got the little dent on his head from the movie, of course. That came out really nice. I like that. Overall, the figure just looks really good, and I give of course the sculpt and the and I hope you guys like the pose I got him in with his hands on his waist. Pretty cool there. But overall, the sculpt and the details came out really nice. If you go on to the back, you do get into the territory of a little bit of kind of stuff that we don't like this stuff right here. We got a screw there that it's, you know, noticeable, but they did cover it at some area, so they covered it there. You can tell that's where a screw would go, and the other shoulder as well. But I mean, you can see the sculpt going on in the back came out really nice, and I like that. We got a few more screws down inside here, which is kind of hidden, so it's not too bad. Overall, not too bad on the screws. Alright, so I want to go ahead and show some other articulation here, because he does have articulation, and I think they did a really good job at it. He is a robot, so he's not going to be in any dynamic poses or anything, so I think it's right articulation for the right character, for the right, you know, how he's supposed to be. So, not too bad. Now, here's where the first gripe comes in. It's the neck area. He doesn't really have any neck articulation. And the way they did this, because he does come with a feature where he lights up his eyes. And this is kind of weird. Kind of threw me off a little bit. And I think they could have done it a different way. But who knows? Maybe this is all they could have done. Is you pop the head out and it's like a big bulb. And it looks really weird. Just a big, like a big light bulb right there. So it's kind of weird. But that's where the light comes out, so you can go through the eyes. I wish they could have done that just a tad bit differently. It looks, it just scares me. Maybe I'll break it or something on accident, not wanting to. But overall, there is no neck articulation at all. It doesn't turn, doesn't do anything. So it's not too bad, because I mean, I don't think he really moved his neck in the movie. I think it was just the head. Like I said, he has a robot, keep that in mind. So at least the head is able to move left and right. It does move up to a certain point before it pops out. I mean, you can kind of half it, leave it there and make him look up, but he does look down quite a lot, and you know, it looks pretty good. Not too bad. I like that. So he's got to look down. He's a big guy. And going on to the arm. So the way they did the arm is the shoulder, this whole part moves. So we're going to go ahead and straighten out the arm here. He does have those ratcheted joints, so you're going to hear the clicks. You know, some people like that, some don't. I'm not really in favor of that, but it's not bad, I guess. But when you move the arm, it's the entire shoulder piece, so it goes forward just like that, and it goes back. Then we got the in and out motion that clicks right there. We do have a bicep swivel right here. Swivels right here. It's really well hidden because there is a cut, so it swivels right there. Then we got the arm that bends right here. So it's pretty much a single jointed elbow because it goes to 90 degrees, and that's about it. Not bad. All right, so here's a little close look at the hand. I wanted to show this off here because it's pretty cool. They articulated this so it does swivel at the wrist right here, and it hinges at the wrist. And I love the finger articulation that they gave this figure. I mean, every joint in the finger bends. So we got that front bend, got the second bend, and then of course the last bend right there. So really cool they did this. I'm always a fan of hand articulation and finger articulation. So you got the thumb right there, and so it does move right there too. The detail they did on the hand is phenomenal as well. And just in case if you wanted to see the inside of the hand, that's how it looks right there. So that's the inside. Alright, so let's proceed to further more articulation here. We have a diaphragm joint going on at the torso area. So it does tilt like this. We are able to swivel it like that. He does crunch forward and he does crunch back. There's no waist swivel, so his articulation there is only in the upper torso. Alright, so taking a look at the legs. We have pretty cool articulation. I mean, it's not a lot, but we do have the legs where they can move in and out like this. So it goes out that far and then it goes in this much. You can see there is range of motion there. It does kind of tilt forward, like inward, and outward like that. So pretty cool that the thighs or the hips or whatever have that. And of course the leg goes all the way forward, and it is pretty tight joint, so that's good. It's always good to have there. So that does that. There is no upper thigh swivel, but it does swivel at the knee right here. So once you bend it, and like I said, it's really tight. So going down to the feet or the ankles, the articulation is not that much here, but like I said, he's a robot. It's really not necessary to have an ankle pivot or an ankle rocker at all when you make this figure. But he does have this giant toe piece right here that is slightly moves, so that's cool. And he does go, you know, forward and back about that much. So you can see the movement in there. What's really cool is they made these pistons sculpted on there, and it goes with the pistons. So that, I mean, that came out really nice, and I like how they did that right there. And I also want to show off the sculpt on the bottom of the feet. Came out really cool too. Alright, so let's take a look at some of the accessories that he comes with. Here's an alternate head. This is very cool. If you saw the movie, you know what this is from. He gets very angry at one point. He gets these eyes, so the eyes kind of close up, get red. Got the teeth showing here. There is articulation at the jaw. I kind of failed to mention that, but there is articulation at the jaw on the normal head as well. So that it does open and close. The other one does not have teeth. This one does. Then he comes with this big, massive cannon. And like I said, if you saw the movie, you know exactly what this is from. I don't want to say much about the movie, just in case you haven't seen it. I mean, it came out in 1999, but not everybody has seen the movie. I understand that. So the way you put this on, you just slide off the, I might as well show you right now. Let's focus on the giant here. This part slides out fairly easy, so that slides off, and then you just put the cannon right where that one would go. So there you have it. I mean, fairly easy, and that's exactly how it looked in the movie. So that came out really nice. And then we have this seafood sign. And forgive me if I have this wrong, because this is removable, this S here, and I'll show you why in a second here. But I'm pretty sure it's tilted like that to say seafood, or it could be like this. I don't know. Kind of want to see the establishment 1911 there, but this is from the movie. Of course, you got to see the movie to understand it. But he takes the S off and he wears it. And where does he wear it? Of course, he wears it on his chest. And there is a magnet, so this is all magnetic. There's little indentations there. There's 4 where you can see where the rivets would go. And you know I gotta strike the Superman pose for this one. So when we're gonna put this on, I remember the movie that this little cut was facing down. And you put it right there, and I think it's in place. Yep. And just like that, you have Superman, Iron Giant. Just added on Hogarth on his shoulder, and it looks phenomenal. He does balance on his shoulder really well. You don't have to really mess around with it at all. And he sits there, and I love that. I mean, that's just great. You can see the scale of him. It's really cool. I have like no words, because this is just, I don't know if you guys understand the nostalgia that is in this review right now. The nostalgia is flowing really deep right now, and it's amazing. I love it. Everything looks great. Going on to the next feature. I know this is a little bit of a lengthy review, just bear with me. I hope you guys are not bored or anything, and you guys are still tuning in, because this is quite a very cool figure, and I'm enjoying it as we're going. Now, he does have features, and I want to show that to you. We do have light up and sounds. 2 buttons are really well hidden right here, so there's that button and that button. But first, there is a piece of plastic on his neck, which are holding the batteries. So let's take that out first and see how we can work this thing. Alright, so I wanted to show you the light up feature and the sound features. It actually came out really cool. I tested it before, of course, I recorded. But first of all, I wanted to put Hogarth in his hand just to see if he can go in his hand, and he can. He sits in his hand. Just look at the eyes right now. Just look at the green eyes. Let's focus on the face right now. Let's see. Okay, cool. And I'm going to press the button on the back. So you see it light up. It lights up. And then I noticed that when I move the head, it kind of gets bright when you make him look up. And then it looks a little bit dimmer when he looks down. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if that was intended or not, but that's how that works right there with the light bulb inside. So it's not too bad, at all. And if it was a little darker, let's take a look. So it's a little bit dimmer. It's not pitch dark. I didn't want to do it pitch dark. And you can see now the eyes light up. It's brighter when it looks up, a little bit dimmer when it looks down. Alright, so I'm going to run through all the sounds. I don't know how many there are, so I'm just going to keep going until he repeats something. And let's take a listen here. Yeah, there you go. Those were the sounds, and I think they came out good. They sound just like him, and I think it's Vin Diesel that plays his voice in the movie. But that sounds just like the movie. Honestly, it doesn't sound stupid, doesn't sound bad. It came out really nice, and I'm glad that they did that. I noticed that the where it comes out is his chest got some little bit of vents there that it's very unnoticeable where the sound comes out of. Alright, so that pretty much concludes my review. Wanted to show off the other head with the light up on right now. So the light is on. Well, now it's off. Now it's on. So you see the red eyes. They're really cool. I like that. I am highly satisfied with this figure. I love it. Only, like I said, I mentioned my gripes was the light bulb and the hollowness of the figure, but it really gets overlooked by everything else. It's not that bad. It's definitely worth it. It's a limited release of this. I think it's only 5,000 made. I think it's around that range. So once they're gone, they're gone. And it's just the nostalgia here that was worth it for me. And the fact that they brought so much accessories, and I think they did a really good job on the sculpt, the paint, and the articulation for what it is. It's a robot, it's Iron Giant, and they did a phenomenal job with it. And the lights and sounds is actually something I really enjoyed in this figure. I normally don't like any gimmicks on my stuff, but this one, they pulled it off, and I think it's pretty dang awesome. I appreciate if you've been with me the entire time. This is a lengthy review, and like I said, thank you so much for staying with me. If you guys are still here, because I mean, I just had to make it long. I can't rush through this review. Something like this, something as big as this, as expensive as this, people, I want to show you guys what this figure is all about, everything, every detail, every part of it. So that's the excuse, or the reason behind the length of it. And overall, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I enjoyed making this. I love this figure, one of my favorites in my collection right now. It's awesome. I love the movie with all my heart. Seriously, I love the movie so much. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. You guys would like. You guys have a great day. Bye.
That's crispy.